I am going to enjoy some medaglia d'oro, instant espresso. I used to call it medaglia d'oro, but I was corrected by someone from Ferrari, and they said it's a medaglia, not a medaglia. Nothing like the nice sit and wait. It's about 57 degrees here today. Nice, it's sunny. It's a little cool in the air. You know, filling these days, I said, man, I'm going to go out and just kind of goof with my plane and play with the hammock and just do some stuff, and that's what I'm doing. Playing a little hooky, doing a little, living that lollygag life. That's what I'm doing. Yes, I am. So one thing about sitting up in your hammock like this, you know, if you've got a pillow or wad a jacket up or something behind you, that kind of helps push you forward and sit you up a little bit. But one thing I do is when I wake up in the morning is I go down to my foot end and either pull my foot end up a little higher. Now I do this when I get out and go get my food bag, because I do hang my food. I don't sleep with it. And before I get back in, whether I take my tree strap and just put it up about, you know, a good foot higher, and I'll just sort of pull it up for breakfast, because I know I'll be laying in the hammock having some breakfast. That kind of gets me sliding back this way and puts my feet up. And then another thing you can do is it sort of depends on where you put your feet. Now I always sleep with my head to the right, my feet to the left. But believe it or not, sometimes if I take my feet and I just put them to the right like that, it sort of gets me on one side of the hammock. You know, gotta see my feet are right over here right now. All right, depending, that kind of helps me be in a good position. And I still got my underquilt under my feet right there because I'm using my full-length hammock gear one out here right now. If what you're sleeping in is very slippery material, and your hammock tends to be slippery material, like if it's what's slippery? I think like argon used to be. This is just sort of a ripstop, this war bonnet, and it's got a little bit of texture to it. Like, it's not super slick. And with the pants I'm wearing right now, I'm just wearing these brown pants that are almost like a denim. Having these two rougher materials together keeps me from sliding down. And I've noticed sometimes on my breakfast from the hammocks, if I'm wearing just my long johns, which I do a lot, it tend to kind of, as you're having the breakfast from the hammock, start sliding down. So, you know, of course, you got to just grab the edges of your hammock and pull yourself up. But putting your feet to that right side kind of puts the brake on that a little bit. That's about it. Then I just lean down. I don't have my hammock real high. You know, I always sit with my hammock, so when I sit in it sideways, my feet are just like right on the ground like a chair. And that just puts me in the perfect position here to reach down and just fool around with my gear and just have my coffee right there from the hammock. I have in some hangs taken my backpack that was just sitting on the ground next to me, but just usually just has some extra clothes in it or whatever, because I'm at camp. Kind of slide that back behind me and kind of gives you a little back support. And, you know, kind of hanging my arm over the edge like that. And that's just comfortable. Well, there's to you. That's about that lesson. There's not much else to say. I come out here and enjoy some pound cake, talk with you guys, and I forget for a few moments that we have this terrible pandemic, this COVID-19, this coronavirus going on, and anything you can do, take your mind off of it for a little while. This applies to all of us, is a right good thing. I'm sorry, because I just put your mind back on it. Maybe you forgot about it watching me, and there I just put your mind right back on it. For that, I apologize. And have a piece of pound cake, man. Meg was craving some pound cake. And I said something joking around. I said, man, I should just make a pound cake. My grandfather, Pa, he was my dad's dad down from Ennery, South Carolina. And we called him Pa mainly because it was the easiest thing to spell for all of us. But my mom always made a good pound cake, and she'd bring it down, and he'd go, oh, thank you, Philomena. Thank you for that plain cake. He called it a plain cake. So I was joking about that, and Meg said, make one, please, make one. So I did, and we always cut it really thin. And man, I tell you what, I nailed this one. Let that sunshine just shine right through that pound cake.